Good morning, everybody. Mr. Pace. I wanted to take a night to ponder what I was going to say to you. I got a fresh cup of coffee. I got a spiffy set of documents, and let's get this underway. I'm Mr. Pace, candidate for the Woodland Hills Filing 11 board, and as you may well know, I've been posting items on the website for not only my website on the Woodland Hills Exposed site, but also on Facebook. And I will now tell you that you may have received one of these in the mail. Before you fill it out, I am not legally allowed to tell you who to vote for, and I'm not going to do that. I can ask you to vote for me, but I can't tell you who to vote for, and I won't do that. I will just give you facts. This was put in to the mailer intentionally, so you would look at it and read it and go, well, why would they put in the annual meeting of owners from last year? It's not relevant. No, it isn't, but if you open it up, you'll realize that they put on the back of it the last election and who the losers were, me being one of them. See, what they want you to understand is that I haven't won an election, and the problem is that all of these individuals, and what is really a shame is they're afraid. And you don't understand why they're afraid, but I do. Because I've been telling you now for the last several months that these men did something illegally. And under 2.18 of the covenants, and I hope I've correctly annotated that number, what they're doing isn't legal. And I'll explain later on, because when I file my injunction against filing 11, okay, as I understand it, they do not have the authority to even conduct an election, and that's based on the fact they could never amend the bylaws, because they cannot amend the bylaws without a vote of 67% of the owners. And in the covenants, the only thing they can do is vote to dissolve the DRC. I'm going to get to that in a minute. That's something for later on. They put a couple of other documents in here. So let's go over what you now know is a proxy, not a ballot. There is a difference. Everybody's asking me. Well, a friend of mine who knows way more about elections than I ever will was contacted by me, and I asked him exactly what this was. This is what's known as a game. It's a game to Howell and LaCroix and Mattson and the board, along with their lawyers and their management company, who all stand to financially benefit by having certain people win the election. I'll explain that as well. Well, I shouldn't have to. You're adults. Okay? The management company goes, the lawyer goes, they make no money. We're not talking chump change, kids. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential revenue. Okay? Now you know. Now, in this, it says that they want you to mark this proxy, but it's not a ballot. It's a proxy. You're assigning your right as the owner of the home to anyone you vote for. So be very careful, and I will tell you why. This was the funniest thing I've ever seen, but my friend who's an election expert explained to me what they have done. They have duped you. They tried to pull the wool over your eyes. This is the best part, because they're doing it right to you, as apparently they think you don't know any better, and I do. That's why I want to warn you. When you mark their names on this proxy and sign it, which it's not a ballot, okay, two things they want: low voter turnout, and they want you to assign them your rights, because a proxy is not only a vote, it's the right for them. If you mark their name, okay, case in point, if you mark their name, they can do whatever they want with that proxy. Anything. There you go. You're smart. I knew you were. Just like in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Right, boys and girls? They think you're so stupid that you wouldn't catch on, but you do now, and I know you would. So, say if Mr. Pace, in the unfortunate event, is what they're basically telling you, that I get 100 votes. And then you vote for Micah Howell, Michael LaCroix, and Derek Mattson, and you give them more than, say, 55 votes. Let's go with a quick number. So if any one of those men receive 55 votes, that's 110 proxy votes. They can then vote for themselves. If they realize they can't win on their own, they can combine their proxies and do what? If I have 100 and they have 110, bam, runs out. See, they thought they were smarter than all of us. That's what criminals and crooks do. And that's all we have. And that's all they are, and that's all they're ever gonna be. They're not men. I've proven that. They're not even real soldiers, and they never were, and they never will be. And they're not even real humans. In order to be a veteran and a soldier and a man, you have to be human, and they don't qualify. Because they want to dupe you into believing I'm such a bad person that you need to vote for them because they're going to make your life oh so much better and fluffy. No. I'm sorry I don't have their resume. I don't have the resume of suing hundreds of owners in this filing. I don't have the board experience in sending out thousands of letters of admonishment with fines. I'm sorry I don't have that experience. You're right, I don't. I just don't. But what I do have is telling you straight to your face as an adult, as an American, as a property owner, that what they're doing is illegal. And that's why I have to fight them. Okay? Because you may not want to, but I do. Because I remember wearing that uniform, and I remember raising my hand, and I remember taking that oath. And what was that oath for? Was to defend others who otherwise couldn't defend themselves. That's the job of a soldier. I didn't forget mine. They forgot theirs. Now they want to take away your rights, and they want to take away your voice by using a proxy instead of a ballot. If you mark this for me, only mark it for me. It says you can vote up to 2 people. Now, if you only mark 1 person on the ballot, that's it. But since you can only mark 2, if you say mark Micah Howell and Michael LaCroix, but then somebody else marks LaCroix and Mattson, they can actually combine their votes to beat me. Because each one of them can assign each other their proxies. See how they did that? I wanted you to know that because as excellent Americans, this is what kind of cowardliness we have in filing 11. And I'm sorry to see that that's exactly what's going on. By the way, the records that I was asking for that they wanted to charge me hundreds of dollars for, I'm actually going to get them for free. Why? Well, because I asked a simple question. Show me where the documents were filed. And I now am going to be in the possession of the document that caused the DRC to become an HOA. And we're all going to be going to court because they didn't do it legally. It's required that every one of you have a right and a say in becoming an HOA, and you didn't. And Orton Kavanaugh, well, hopefully will end up in front of an ARC panel explaining what they did. But I can tell you that Cruz, Killett, and Howell did something they weren't allowed to, and the lawyers told them they could. That's why Orton Kavanaugh need to be held accountable. Thank you, folks, for stopping by, and I really appreciate it. If you're going to vote for me, don't mark any other box. And the reason why I can say that is because if you do, then you give somebody else the ability to vote for another board member while you're not there, because this is a proxy and not technically a ballot. It is, but it's not. I hope you understand. Thank you for stopping by. And again, I want to apologize for the other individuals in the election because they're really just not even humans at this point. Have a nice day. Oh, don't forget, I do have a recording that's being processed now of Howell, LaCroix, Carton, and Mattson basically saying that you're nothing more than trailer park trash. And that's a fact. Have a nice day. Don't forget to vote. Don't forget to send this back in.